Welcome back. I'm Keith Urban, and we're on day 4 of our 30 Songs in 30 Days series. Today, we're back to one of my songs. We're going to be learning You Look Good in My Shirt. And this song's great because it has a catchy intro riff that repeats throughout the song. It also has a solo section, which makes it perfect to play with 2 guitarists. I have one. Hopefully, you have the other. Before we get to the riff that forms the backbone of the song, we need to learn a couple more chords. We'll be using a bunch of chords that we've already learned, like open C, open G, and open D. We're going to learn the last of our core chords, the E major, and we're going to dip our toes into some variations of that chord. Okay, first up, E major, or E for short. E is fairly simple, but like your A chord, it uses a shape that you're going to see over and over again. So try to lock it down in your mind. We're playing all 6 strings on this one. The first and second strings are played open. Place your first finger on the 3rd string, 1st fret. Place your 3rd finger, that's your ring finger, on the 4th string, 2nd fret, right there. And then your 2nd finger, right here, that's the middle finger, on the 5th string, 2nd fret. So it's stacked on top of the 3rd, like this. You see? That's the shape. The 6th string is the E. It's played open. Why? Because it's an E, and we're playing E major. That's an E string, that's an E string. So they stay open for this chord. It's an E major. Okay, now we're going to play a minor. And you remember how I was saying that the C, D, G, A, and E chords that we've learned are major chords, right? It's an E major chord. So let's introduce you to our first minor chord. Okay, so this is an E major chord. We've learned the shape of that. E minor is as simple as lifting your first finger off the fretboard, like that. E major, E minor. There it is. It's almost like happy chord, sad chord. Sunny. Rainy. It's rainy, it's bleak. But it's good again. The E minor is a bit darker compared to our major chords, but it does fit really nicely into certain songs, just like this one. One more variation on the E. This is called E7. Okay, so here's the E, to recap one more time. There's E, E minor, E. Now, to make an E7th, we simply lift up the ring finger. That's your 3rd finger. You lift it up like this. Here's E. Here's E7. Check that out. Just from one finger, listen to the difference. So already you're learning how to make 3 chords with the most simple of one-finger movements. E, E minor, E, E7. There you go. Okay, I lied. One last variation. E minor 7th. Sounds like a very complicated chord, and yet it's extremely simple because you've already played it. This is your E. You get back to your basic E major, which is this. There you go. That's E. You remember E minor is this. And you remember E7 is this. So if E minor 7 would be that. There you go. Look, one finger. E minor 7. Okay, You Look Good in My Shirt has an intro and a verse that uses the same chord progression and then a chorus that's slightly more complicated. And of course, it has that riff, which really is the most fun part. So let's start with that. Now, this riff is great. It's not super hard to pick up, but it's really catchy. Now when I say it's not super hard, there's so many ways to play this riff. The most simple way is single note, meaning like, you know it goes da 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 da. That's the riff, basically. And you can do that by playing single strings, like and quick it would be. Now, on the version that you hear me play on the record, that's an electric guitar playing the riff. So it's not single note, and the reason why it's easier to play it on the electric guitar is because you can bend the strings. Bending the strings, which is a whole other thing we can get into later, that's where that riff becomes more like, instead of you bend, that's a whole other thing which we'll get into later. But if you're trying to figure out why the acoustic riff doesn't sound like the one on the album, this is why. This is the electric. Now, the reason why we play that on electric is because it's almost impossible to play on an acoustic by bending these strings. The strings are much heavier on acoustic, and you can't even quite bend the strings all the way up. So if you're on an acoustic guitar, the best way to play the riff is single note, like we did. Or you could even play like this. Bottom line is, as long as you've got as long as you got that in there, people know what song you're playing. That's what I think. So take your time with that. Pick it slowly, bend the strings, just get comfortable with messing around with these notes and picking, and see if you can get a bit of that intro happening. It's a very catchy intro. Okay, the verse is fairly simple and uses what now hopefully are very familiar chords to you. If you choose not to play the intro riff, you can use this chord progression for your intro as well. As in, starting on C, the C chord, 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, then G. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 beats on D. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then E minor, 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you repeat that. Now remember to palm mute. The palm muting helps a ton because it keeps the verse reserved and allows a real build into the chorus. So if you're doing your verses like this, like that. The chorus to You Look Good in My Shirt is a different order of the same chords. The transitions are a little quicker as well. The first 4 bars, 2 beats on C, 2 beats on D, 4 beats on G, 2 beats on E minor, 2 beats on D, 4 beats on C. That sounds very complicated, so sometimes the easy way is to just play it. We'll try and play it slowly. But the changes are quicker than in the verse. Now this song, like a lot of songs you'll find, there's the sort of technically correct way to play it, meaning all the chord changes are quick, etc., etc. And there's sometimes a simple way to play it. So it's less chords, you're not changing as quick, and you can still sing the song. I'll give you the example. On a song like You Look Good in My Shirt, You can play it like this. Simply a little too early. Gonna work. Like that. You can sing over the top of that. Maybe it's a little too early. Know if this is gonna work. So it's changing almost every 2 beats, you're changing chords. But you can simplify that if you want to do it that way, and you can still sing over the top of it. Instead of changing C, D quickly like that, you could stay there longer. 4 beats on C, for example. Maybe it's a little too early. Know if this is gonna work. All I know is you're sure looking good in my shirt. So you can still sing the song over those much slower changes. So the way I do it is I play the C chord and then I do this funky version, which is C moved up 2 spaces. That's the way I play it when I'm playing live. I go, maybe it's a little too early. Oh, what's that chord? Oh my goodness. It's a G, the way I play G. And then I'm playing this. But I wouldn't jump to that just yet if you're still figuring out what a guitar's all about. But just so you know, that's the inversions I play. But you can sing over these much more simple, longer chords. So let's just hit those one more time. This is the simple, much easier way to do it. Chorus, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, G. 1, 2, 3, 4. E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, C. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the second half of the chorus, all I know, 3, 4. You're sure looking, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 1, 2, G. The only place you've got 2 beats on any chord is the very, very end of the chorus. Otherwise, everything's long, 4 beat measures or more. So that's an easier way to play the song. Take your time and think about the song. Again, it's easy to think about it in chunks, as in first the intro riff, next the verse, next another verse, and next the chorus, then the intro riff. Next a verse, a chorus, and the intro riff is the outro, meaning that that plays the outro of the song. It just keeps playing over and over again. That's the outro. If you practice slowly and count until you can feel the rhythm, you're going to have the swing of it in no time.
When you walked up behind me and covered my eyes and whispered in my ear, guess who? Well, I rattled off names like I really didn't know, but all along I knew it was you. And the longer we talked, the more we laughed and wondered why we didn't last. It had been a long time, but later last night, baby, we caught up real fast. It's a little too early to know if this is gonna work. All I know is you're sure looking good in my shirt. Well, now I'm not saying that we solved overnight every way that we went wrong. Oh, but what I'm seeing, I'd sure love seeing every morning from now on. And maybe it's a little too early to know if this is gonna work. All I know
Nice work.